Welcome to Morning Joan, the dishiest podcast in town. I'm your host, Joan, and we're so glad you're joining us today. Grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive into the latest scoop. You know, sometimes life can be unpredictable, and our favorite celebrities are no exception. Today, we're talking about some shocking health battles that have affected some of Hollywood's biggest stars. From brain aneurysms to strokes, and from chronic illnesses to mysterious conditions, these celebs have faced it all. Let's start with Emilia Clarke, the talented actress from Game of Thrones. You might remember her iconic role as Daenerys Targaryen, but what you might not know is that she's been through a harrowing health ordeal. In 2019, she revealed that she'd suffered 2 brain aneurysms, which required immediate surgery. Can you imagine going through that kind of pain and uncertainty? It's truly inspiring to see how Emilia has bounced back and is now advocating for brain health awareness. But Emilia's not the only one who's faced a health crisis. Snoop Dogg's daughter, Corey Broaddus, recently opened up about her own experience with a severe stroke. The 25-year-old shared that she'd texted her family, including her famous dad, and they all rushed to be by her side. Thankfully, Corey is on the mend, but it just goes to show how fragile life can be. And then there's Shailene Woodley, the talented actress from Big Little Lies. She's been pretty private about her health struggles, but recently revealed that she'd spent 10 years dealing with a mysterious condition that left her losing her hearing, struggling with stomach issues, and even experiencing body dysmorphia. It's heartbreaking to think about what she went through, but it's also inspiring to see how she's come out the other side, feeling healthier and more confident than ever. We'll also be talking about other celebs who faced health battles, including Amy Winehouse's family revealing her secret struggle with a chronic illness, and a popular singer who's been open about their struggles with mental health. It just goes to show that even when it seems like everything is perfect on the surface, there can be so much more going on behind the scenes. So, stay tuned, folks. We've got all the tea and we're spilling it right here on Morning Joan. From celebrity gossip to real-life struggles, we're covering it all. And if you're just joining us, don't worry, we'll get you caught up in no time. We'll be right back with more tea on Morning Joan. Welcome back to Morning Joan. I hope you're all sipping on a fresh cup of coffee and ready to dive into some fascinating behind-the-scenes stories from the world of entertainment. Today, we're talking about one of our favorite shows, Gilmore Girls. You know, that quaint little drama that captured our hearts with its witty banter, lovable characters, and of course, the intricate mother-daughter relationship between Lorelai and Rory. Now, I know many of you out there are die-hard fans, just like me, and have devoured every episode, spin-off, and revival. But even the most dedicated viewers might not know some of the juicy secrets and surprising facts that went on behind the scenes. For instance, did you know that Amy Sherman Palladino, the show's creator, had a very different ending in mind for the series? In fact, she's been teasing fans for years about the last 4 words she had planned to wrap up the story. And let me tell you, when the Netflix revival finally came around, those 4 words were everything we hoped for, and more. But that's not all. There were contract negotiations, cast tensions, and even some heartbreaking moments, like the passing of Edward Herrmann, who played Lorelai's father, Richard Gilmore. The cast has always been very close-knit, and Kelly Bishop, who played Emily Gilmore, has spoken fondly of her on-screen husband and their special bond. We're also learning more about the plans for a potential spin-off series, which would have followed Rory into adulthood. Can you imagine? It's amazing to think about how different the show's history could have been if some of these alternative paths had been taken. As we wrap up this segment, I want to leave you with a question. What do you think those final 4 words would have been if Amy Sherman Palladino had gotten her way from the start? Share your theories with us on social media using the hashtag #SueMorningJoan, and we might just discuss them in our next episode. Stay tuned for today's last cup of tea, right here on Morning Joan. Welcome back to Morning Joan, darlings. We've got a juicy story to dish about as we wrap up today's show. You know I love a good celebrity update, and this one's all about Kelly Clarkson and her journey towards healing after the loss of her ex-husband, Brandon Blackstock. Can you believe it's been a few months since Blackstock passed away after a private battle with melanoma? I mean, 48 is just too young if you ask me. And poor Kelly, she was devastated for their kids, River and Remington. But, as we all know, time waits for no one, not even celebrities. So, Kelly's been on this path of self-discovery and healing, and I am living for it. She was spotted wearing a tarot card pendant necklace with the star card symbol, which represents hope, inspiration, and renewal. Now, I'm no expert, but that sounds like just what the doctor ordered after a tough time. And then, there was this adorable moment on her talk show where Kelly got a grief exorcism of sorts from none other than the legendary Lionel Richie. I mean, who needs therapy when you have Lionel Richie, am I right? He performed a grief exorcism on her, and I'm not entirely sure what that entails, but if it involves singing all night long, then sign me up. But seriously, folks, Kelly's been through a lot, and it's lovely to see her finding ways to cope and move forward. And let's be real, we could all use a little hope and inspiration in our lives. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Joan, this is all well and good, but what about the drama? Don't worry, darlings, I've got you covered. Apparently, Kelly and Brandon had a bit of a contentious divorce back in 2022, but it seems like she's taken the high road and is focusing on her own healing. And that, my friends, is the tea for today. Remember, no matter what life throws your way, always keep a little sparkle in your eye and a lot of love in your heart. That's all for today's Morning Joan. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay fabulous.